Right, boys and girls, you can see we're looking at the front end plate of the engine. Now, what I've shown you just at the moment, when I put something together, I pre-assemble it. So what I've done, I've got everything in its correct location, with the exception of the chain tensioner, spring and etc., because obviously there's nothing to tension it to. So I've put all that together, making sure that I've got all the nuts and bolts and washers etc. that need to go in there. I am actually short of one stud that was missing originally when I dismantled it, so I will actually replace. I'll use one of the ones that are not important just to hold the timing cover on, but hold the main plate to the block. I'll replace it, you know, with one from later on. So that's where we are right now. That's me pre-assembled but not finished. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video and I'll remove the end plate, and then I'll show you what we do from there. Right, guys, you can see now that I've removed the end plate and the gasket, which it's only a very thin paper gasket. Now, remember I told you about the Permatex, what I bought to seal two closely fitted mating surfaces. I think it's a good example of where to use it. Now, some people would probably just put the paper gasket on, but as I've got the Permatex, I'm going to give both sides I'm going to give this side just a little thin smear of it, and I'll also give a little thin smear on the on this side, you know, on the engine facing the plate itself. So I'll pause the video and I'll get that assembled. I'll get that Permatex on it, and then I'll show you the next video. Right, I'm just putting the last little bit of the Permatex and it's quite easy to brush on. It's a thin aviation type solution that it's fuel resistant and oil resistant, and it just gives a little bit of belt and braces on these two smooth surfaces. That's exactly what it's for, and that's exactly what I'm going to use it for. So yeah, we can stick the gasket to that, makes it a little bit easier. And again, we'll just line the gasket up provisionally, and I'll pause the video while I do the engine front plate, and I'll do this exactly the same with that. So I'll pause the video for you. Right guys, I've coated the engine front plate, and now we're just going to line it up and get it installed. Never work with children and animals, guys. Once you've got it lined up, it should go in fairly easy. Obviously, because I'm making a video, it's not going to go as smoothly as I expected. All we need to do, lads, is just get a couple of screws in so that we can then line it up correctly. we'll just keep putting studs in until such time as we know that it's located correctly. You might have to do just a little bit of juggling about, boys, just to get all the screws located. That little tensioner's got a little plug in the back of it, by the way. So you must make sure that that's lined up correctly. Whenever I'm putting any studs or anything into anywhere, I always make sure they'll go in finger tight first. Because if you're trying to put them in with a spanner and they're not quite straight, you could easily cross thread them. So if you screw them well in with your fingers first, you know then that, sorry guys, this is going to have to come off because there is an actual gasket behind there. You've seen it as I'm doing it, boys. This has got a little gasket behind it, but I haven't got it out of the pack, so I'll just pause the video and I'll come back and get the gasket for that. Right, I have put a new gasket on the back of the tensioner, so yeah, that's just got to go into situ as well. If you tighten all these screws up with your fingers first, you know that they're going to go in, and you're not going to have any problems later on. Now these screws along here, boys, along the bottom edge, these are held in with the timing cover. So I could put them in, but to be fair, I don't think it's going to make any difference, because I'll have to take them out again. So I'll just leave it and I'll tighten the main ones that are up. These are left in because these little ones also hold the timing cover in. So all I'm doing is just tightening the ones down that's on the block that's holding the main part of the assembly to the back of the engine. So we'll just get the right size socket for that, which I believe is a 12 mil. It's actually a 13 mil. So we'll just tighten that down. Now again, I mean, I could show you all these tightening down videos, but to be fair, lads, when you've tightened one nut down, it's pretty much the same for them all. I'm just sort of giving you an insight into, you know, the job for this afternoon was just, I was quite happy to just get the engine end plate into situ and get it located. Make sure I had all the correct parts for it. And then get it tightened up. So that's my job for the day today, and I'm quite happy to get that job done. That's another one off the list. And then tomorrow we'll put the rear plate on, and then we can go about installing the camshaft. So I'm just giving these a little nip down, not all together, just a little bit at a time. I think actually this one, the cams have got to go in before this, so I'm going to have to take that out, guys, but it just means that all my parts are there and I'm not going to lose them in the meantime while I'm trying to do something else. I did put that on a little bit too early, I'm afraid, but you know, hey ho, this is what happens. It's more, like I said, these videos are more to record my progress. That make sure that's seated into the location, and it's a bit bigger screw, that one. Make sure everything's located before you tighten it up. That's got a pin in it, a locating pin, so you know that's going to be correct. And then just give them a little nip up, and then I'm satisfied that the back plate is tightened onto the block. These are all held on with the timing cover, as I've pointed out to you before. This has got to come out, so it's just that one there that needs a little nip up. That's been nipped up. That needs nipped up. So we've got, and these need nipping up. These have got 2 locking tabs on for the tensioner, which now these obviously don't need a lot on these ones, because they're only a thin little bolt, but we do want it. And you know, don't overdo it, but just, I will bend those lock tabs over. So we've got these tightened up. Don't do any harm just to go around and double check. We've nipped them down now, and that's the engine plate secured now. I'll just take these, loosen these off, because when I come to tighten these down, it'll give it a fresh nip on the gasket. So there we are. That's where we've got to so far with the end plate. Yeah, might be a boring video for some of you guys, but you know, anybody who's not done this before will be interested in it. And what I shall do now, I'll just put all these spare nuts and bolts that I've got left over when I've got the gasket lined up. I'll just put all these in so I don't lose them. And yeah, then when I come to fit the timing chain, etc., tomorrow or the next day, I can just come straight to it and remove these. These are just being so I don't lose them. And again, it's, to some of you guys it might be a boring little video. To somebody like me who's never really done much of this before on a 6-cylinder engine, it's a learning curve. That one just doesn't want to go in at the moment, but we'll persuade him in later on. It just probably wants the gasket just clearing away a little bit, and then she'll probably go in. But although we might not be doing this right away, we do know that they're going in, and we can come back to those at another time. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little short video. That one there is another one that goes through the timing cover, so there's no point in tightening it yet. All these ones go through the timing cover, as I've said, so there's no point in putting them tight yet. These ones I can slacken off, because that's got to go in with the cam tomorrow. So yeah, if you're liking the video, although it might be boring, give us a thumbs up and I'll make you a couple more. If you don't like them, don't give us a thumbs up. So thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel if you want. There's about 20 videos on there. There's a couple of other playlists on there, so if you're liking them, you might be interested in some of the other stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.